Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's David, and welcome to our training webinar today. And we are going to be continuing our series on Alavida. So hope that you are going to enjoy it. I think you will. And given that it's summertime, I thought we would, and it's the Alavida promotion month, we are going to be talking today about the nectar and cream. However, you're going to be learning some things that you might not have known. For example, did you know that the Alavida Nectar and Cream is a wonderful aid and relief of sunburn? Now, I have some Irish background, predominantly German and Italian, but I do have some Irish blood, and I think that's what my skin is, because since I was a kid, I would always burn very, very easily. But when we first introduced Alavida, and when we got into the summer months, I had the opportunity from a sunburn to test it out, and I did, and sure enough, found out that Alavida is a wonderful remedy for sunburn. As a matter of fact, it takes the pain away almost instantly. And since recommending this, many people have experienced the same thing. So we're going to be talking about some very interesting properties of the Alavida daytime and nighttime formulas, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And speaking of sunshine, we of course are located, our corporate office, in beautiful San Diego. As you can see in the window behind me, we're having a beautiful sunny summer day. So wherever you are, I'd like to send you some of our beautiful weather and sunshine, and hope that you're enjoying vacation time and time for a little rest and relaxation. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And of course, as with all of our training webinars, you'll have the opportunity after this brief presentation to ask whatever questions that you might like about Alavida or any of our products. Okay, so one of the important things to know about our Alavida system, which of course is the daytime, nighttime topical formulas, and the Alavida patch, which works by improving the quality of the skin from the inside out, is that these products are natural, and they're completely based off of plant extracts. We've also put each of these products through scientific and clinical testing, because before we market any products, we have to know that they work. Also, one of the really unique things about Alavida is that it goes to work immediately. So for the Alavida patch, which we've been talking about this month, we can demonstrate bioelectrically that the product works immediately. And of course, when you apply the daytime and the nighttime formulas, you get immediate improvement in hydration of the skin. And of course, these products go to work reducing the appearance of lines and wrinkles. So we're going to talk more about that today. Now, there's a really important reason why we wanted these products to be natural, and it's because about 70% or so of what you place on your skin will enter the body. So think about how a transdermal patch works. Our patches are non-transdermal, but think of how a transdermal patch works. You have a drug delivery system or delivery for some type of herb or other nutrient, and you're putting this in contact with the skin. Then those nutrients will pass through the skin and into the body. Well, that's actually what's happening with skincare products. So you should only be putting on your skin what you want to have inside the body. Another thing about Alavida is that this has been tested now by dermatologists. The Alavida daytime and nighttime formulas were put together by a cosmetic scientist who's been in the industry for 30 years. So these products were designed to be safe for all skin types, and especially safe for sensitive skin. Also, we don't use any type of unnatural preservatives. So, for example, one of the preservatives that we use is rosemary extract, which, of course, rosemary is an herb. We also don't include anything synthetic, such as parabens, sulfates, phthalates. We're not including any of these things because they're potentially harmful to your health. So we kept the product natural. So now, what are the benefits and what can people expect from using the Alavida daytime and nighttime formulas? Well, of course, what everyone wants in skincare is to get a reduction in fine lines and wrinkles. And that's certainly something that Alavida does. And we're going to talk about this in detail about how it actually does this. There's also a very unique combination of oils that we put into Alavida so that it will improve hydration, but yet it will not be greasy on the skin. And there's a specific reason why it does that. Now, in reducing lines and wrinkles, one thing that we want to do is increase the amount of collagen that's in the skin, and this will have the benefit of tightening the skin and improving firmness. We also have ingredients that will smooth out the tone of the skin. So this is a really well-rounded and well-thought-out package. So let's talk about the daytime formula first. And of course, we refer to this as our facial nectar. So a simple way to think about this is Alavida daytime formula both moisturizes the skin for an immediate effect, and it's also an anti-aging product. Another thing that was immediately noticeable when we brought this to market back in 2015 is that women would tell us that this made an excellent base for makeup. So that's one of the really things appealing about the nectar. Now I've got 2 pages here where we're going to look at the basic active ingredients in the facial nectar. And we start off with a microalgae oil that's rich in DHA. And of course, DHA is an omega-3 essential fatty acid. And DHA is necessary for so many different things in the body, brain function, function of the nervous system, and of course we've got nerves going through the skin. And of course it will have benefits of hydration and improving the health of the skin. We also have a fat-soluble or lipid-soluble vitamin C that we'll talk about in some detail. Rice bran oil, moringa butter, macadamia seed oil, which is one of my favorites, so I'm going to spend a little time talking about that. Jojoba oil, and there we have our rosemary extract, which is an antioxidant and preservative. Now let's talk about the vitamin C first, because there are many different forms of vitamin C, and often on these training webinars I'll recommend vitamin C, either ester C or liposomal C. And ester C is a non-acidic form of vitamin C, so it's more, regular vitamin C is ascorbic acid. So an ester C is a non-acidic form of vitamin C, and that makes it easy on the stomach and more digestible. But a lipid-soluble one just simply means it'll dissolve in fats. And this is important because the cell membrane is made of fats. It's called a phospholipid layer. So if we want to get nutrients through the cell membrane to where they can be metabolized and used, it's best to coat them in fat. And that's exactly what happens with this vitamin C. So as a result, this special type of vitamin C is going to be absorbed much better than regular vitamin C. And as such, it's going to be doing 2 things for you. The first thing is that vitamin C will function as an antioxidant, and this, of course, protects your cells from damage. One of the things that will damage the skin, of course, is UV light. And just being out in the sun for 15 minutes can reduce the amount of vitamin C in your skin by about 80%. So this is really important that we replenish the vitamin C in our skin to protect it. Now, the other reason, and probably the more important reason as a cosmetic product of why we're including lipid-soluble vitamin C in Alavida, is that it stimulates the production of collagen. So, of course, we've talked about this now in our Nirvana webinars and on many of our other webinars about how the loss of collagen contributes to the aging process. Now, this shows up in our skin as lines and wrinkles, but actually this is happening inside the body too. And so this is not desirable at all. But from the point of view of what is it that can we do to get new collagen to form, well, lipid-soluble vitamin C is clinically shown to do that. So this is going to improve the firmness of the skin and reduce lines and wrinkles by increasing collagen production. Now, there are a number of natural oils that we have included in the daytime and the nighttime formulas, and each one was chosen for a very, very specific reason. Rice bran oil acts as a natural antioxidant, and it also, of course, as an oil, will help to moisturize the skin. But another reason is that there is a mechanism by which rice bran oil can help support the reduction and the appearance of lines and wrinkles and act as a barrier to help the skin retain moisture. So those are some of the reasons why we chose rice bran oil. Now, moringa butter was also a really interesting choice, I think, for this product as we were looking at the formulation. And there were several people involved, by the way, in formulating the daytime and the nighttime formulas. Principally, it was myself, Dr. Haltiwanger, and a cosmetic scientist who's been in the industry for 30 years that has a number of patents on different skincare ingredients. So, you know, as we talk through this, we included moringa butter because there's a very, very long history, thousands of years of history being used in skincare. And it's got antioxidant properties, so we know it's going to protect the skin. But one thing that's really interesting about moringa butter is that it actually helps to promote the growth of new and healthy skin. So, for example, most people that are interested in skincare are going to do some type of physical or chemical exfoliation, and we want to get rid of that dead layer of skin, and we want new skin to replace it that's going to be healthy and that's going to make our skin look better. So moringa butter is something that's going to do that. It's going to help promote growth of new skin. We also chose this, we had talked about using either shea butter or cocoa butter, but actually clinical studies showed that moringa butter worked better than those. So that's why we chose it. Sometimes people ask, you know, shea butter is a great moisturizer. Why didn't you use it? Well, actually, moringa butter is better. Okay, now this is by far one of my favorite ingredients in Alavida. And actually, for those of you that have been on the WinFit training, know that I recommend consuming macadamia oil daily. Macadamia oil is a monounsaturated fat, and as such, it is going to help reduce inflammation in the body. There's also this compound that is in macadamia seed oil that will actually help delay the aging of the skin. Now, I'm not sure that scientists actually know why that's the case. It may be turning on a gene associated with longevity. But in any case, we have macadamia oil included here for that very reason, because it's been substantiated to do that. And macadamia oil bears a striking resemblance chemically to the natural oils found in the skin. Now, this is going to do two things in Alavida. The first is that when you apply macadamia oil and the Alavida formula to the skin, it's not going to be greasy. The second thing is that it's going to help now act as a delivery system to carry the active ingredients into the skin where they can be used and processed. So a lot of significant benefits to macadamia oil. Now, jojoba oil was chosen for the same reason, is that it also closely resembles chemically the oils that are found in human skin. So again, it's going to be non-irritating, it's going to be moisturizing, but without being greasy. Any of you that have used pure shea butter know that it tends to be very, very greasy, although it's a great moisturizer. But we don't want that. We want something that's going to leave the skin moist, but not greasy. Now, also another benefit of jojoba oil is that it's been found to promote the natural production of collagen, and of course, this is going to help rebuild the skin and reduce those lines and wrinkles. Now, rosemary extract, we use this as an antioxidant, and it's because it's antibacterial, we can use it as a natural preservative. So a good way to think about the daytime formula is that this is a moisturizer and it's an anti-aging product. So it's going to protect the skin and it's going to help to promote formation of new collagen. Now that brings us to the nighttime formula. And many of our members that I speak to, and also our staff here in our office in San Diego, I think people are addicted to the nighttime formula. I'm not sure what we put in it, but people go crazy over the nighttime formula. And actually, there's one significant difference between the daytime and the nighttime formula is that the nighttime formula contains milk peptides. But we do use the same base of oils in the nighttime formula because it works so well. So like the daytime formula, the nighttime formula is going to be both a moisturizer and it's going to be anti-aging. And of course, what we want this to do is reduce lines and wrinkles. So again, we have our algae oil, we have our fat-soluble vitamin C, we've added a milk peptide complex, and now the nighttime formula, of course, is much heavier than what we would have with the daytime formula. Daytime formula is very thin, so compatible with makeup, and the nighttime formula is going to be much heavier. And there we have our oil-based delivery system, which includes moringa butter, macadamia oil, and jojoba oil. Now, milk peptides, exactly what is this? Well, of course, it's just like what it sounds. It's derived from milk, so that means it's completely natural. And it has the benefit, there's two really big benefits, but ultimately this leads to the reduction in lines and wrinkles. So this is actually going to support a regeneration of the skin. So when we're getting new collagen production, that's reversing a symptom of aging. So as a result, the skin is going to be thicker, it's going to be tighter, more firm, and more elastic. So what's going on here? Well, with the milk peptides, they're going to do two things. The first, of course, is they're increasing production of collagen. Now, collagen is the most abundant protein in the body, and collagen in the skin gets subjected to something called cross-linking. And this is what the Alavida patch is designed to prevent. So in other words, you use the Alavida patch, this reduces oxidative stress that the skin is exposed to, as well as the rest of the collagen in the body, and as a result, now the skin can heal. But normally, as we age, the skin and the collagen will go through damage, and that's something that kind of spirals out of control the older that we get, but it doesn't have to be that way. So with Alavida and specifically the milk peptide complex, this can reverse this and increase collagen production so we can have less lines and wrinkles and slow down these signs and symptoms of aging. A question that we had gotten when we launched Alavida was, why didn't we include hyaluronic acid? Now, hyaluronic acid is a relatively common compound these days in different skincare products, and for good reason. Hyaluronic acid helps the skin hold water, and that's going to help retain moisture. And as we age, the levels of hyaluronic acid in the body decrease. So what can we do about this? Well, actually, what we found by going through the research is that it is more effective to help the body produce its own hyaluronic acid than adding it topically. So again, this is another benefit of the milk peptide complex in the oil-based delivery system that we're using, is that now we can cause the body to increase its own production of hyaluronic acid so we don't have to use it as an ingredient, which is less efficient, meaning it doesn't work as well. So this is going to help restore the skin to a beautiful appearance. And I think we've kind of covered most of this. So of course this is designed to be used in the evening as a nice follow-up to the daytime formula. And I know sometimes people use this during the day as well. So that's just a personal choice. Okay, so what have we talked about today? Well, we've talked about that our Alavida daytime and nighttime formulas are made from natural, plant-based ingredients. That's really important to know. We're not using anything harmful. You can see an immediate improvement in skin hydration, but the products are not greasy because the selection that we've used of the oils that are in Alavida. And we have gone through clinical studies and scientific testing to prove that Alavida does in fact reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. There's no synthetic chemicals, and of course, like all of our products, it's exclusive to LifeWave. So with that, this is the time when you can ask questions about Alavida or any of our products. Just simply use the webinar system to raise your hand, and I will unmute your microphone. Or if you prefer, you can simply write in a question, and I will be happy to answer that. So we're going to go to a number of questions here that have been written in, and there's actually quite a few. Okay. There's some good ones here. There's one here, I can't wait to get to it. But I'm going to start at the top. Okay, so this is something that I've mentioned on other webinars. When you take a beef collagen supplement, I only see a beef broth at Jarrow, so we are drinking a soup base. So that's right. Jarrow is a product that I've used, and it is a beef broth, which is collagen, and one scoop will have 10 grams of collagen derived from beef. And yes, as a matter of fact, you can have that, you add hot water to it. I also like to add a little bit of oil to it, macadamia oil or olive oil, and that then you get some monounsaturated fats there, and it does very much taste like a soup. Usually, like most people, I enjoy having something warm in the morning, and so I had went through cycles where I would use something like green tea, or I would have decaffeinated coffee. However, I wanted to try something else a little bit different to kind of satisfy that need, and so lately I've been having beef broth, and I actually like that quite a bit. I find it very satisfying. So that would be helpful in replacing collagen that is lost over time, and I always recommend that for people that are having any type of problems with their joints. So if you have a loss of cartilage, let's say in your knees, which would be common, take collagen on a regular basis. Use our glutathione patch down at the knee to help with the inflammation and with repair, and take a large dose of vitamin C several times per day. And this will all stimulate repair of the cartilage, and you'll be happy with those results. Okay, and by the way, an orthopedic surgeon will tell you it's impossible. It's not impossible. It happens all the time. All right, I don't want to go on a rant. I was about to go on a rant. I'm going to stop myself because sometimes these certain doctors in certain professions like to tell us, well, the only answer is surgery. But think about it. Where did the cartilage come from in the first place? It came from our bodies. It came from stem cells. So our bodies have the ability to repair itself. We have to create the environment and give our body the raw materials that it needs to fix itself and repair itself, but our bodies can do it. Okay. Now, sometimes surgery is necessary. Sometimes surgery is life-saving, so I'm not knocking that at all. What I'm saying is if we can do something naturally without surgery, then we should do that. All right. Now I'm going to stop and move on. Would you need to wear the Alavida patch daily forever to be normalized? Well, I don't know if normalized is maybe the right way to put it, but I get your idea. Okay, so let's look at that. Look at this, because there are a number of different effects with the Alavida patch. The first thing is that the Alavida patch is going to reduce oxidative stress. So this would be something beneficial to protect ourselves from on a regular basis, especially the older that we get. However, there's some other really interesting effects with Alavida where you would not have to continue using it all the time. The peptide, or at least one of the peptides that the Alavida patch is going to stimulate is it's designed to stimulate release of epithalamine. Now, this will regenerate the pineal gland and the thymus. So that's important because let's say that we're able to repair some of the age-related damage to the thymus and to the pineal gland. Well, then maybe now we would only need the Alavida patch a few months a year to maintain those benefits. That's something we don't know the answer to, but if I wanted to speculate, that might be one potential protocol. You know, another way we look at this is vitamins. If you want the benefit of vitamins, you have to continue with it. So I would say, of course, it would be best using the Alavida patch on a regular basis, but if for financial reasons you wanted to be using other patches, then I'd say, yeah, you could look at this as use the Alavida patch a few months a year, you know, cycle that maybe once every 4 months, and you might get a nice effect from that. Is there a product that's good versus Candida? Not my area of specialty, but generally speaking, there are a few things that you can do about Candida. One thing that I would be looking into would be products like olive leaf extract and oregano oil as products to use against Candida, and then of course probiotics. That's one of the classics for Candida. And by the way, if you're going to take that approach, you don't take those products at the same time. So in other words, you would take, let's say, your oregano oil and your olive leaf extract in the morning, and then maybe at dinner you take your probiotic, because those, if you take them at the same time, you're going to kill the probiotic, and you don't want to do that. Okay. Hi, David. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday back to you. Okay, so I'm going to read this. This is pretty long, so give me just a second to read this. Okay. This is an interesting question. So my son has ADD and started using Nirvana 10 days ago. Days 1 to 3 were great! Exclamation point. He felt awesome and slept good and was able to focus throughout the day. Fantastic. Now, on day 4 and 5, he was unable to sleep while wearing the patch on the third eye, so we moved it below the shoulder point, and that worked. Now he is unable to sleep no matter where he wears the patch. He is very spiritual and meditates and does plant medicine ceremonies. What do you think we should do? Okay. Nirvana is an interesting product in that what we're finding with it is that people really do need to experiment with the dose for what works best for them. The majority of people that use Nirvana, the majority, do very well with the Nirvana patch and then taking 2 pills per day. Some people, though, that I've been consulting with, they function better with only 1 pill per day, and then some people need 3 or 4 pills per day. One of the signs would be, let's say that if someone wanted the benefits of elevating collagen production with Nirvana and they wanted to take 4 pills per day, that might make someone tired. So they would have to cut back to 2 or 1 pills. With the Nirvana patch, I would recommend it in this case every other day. So I would also recommend only 1 pill per day. So I'd cut back on the use a little bit and cut back to 1 pill per day on the Nirvana pills and the use of the patch every other day and see how he does with that. So everyone's neurochemistry is going to be a little bit different, so thus the adjustments. Will Alavida help terrible road rash from a fall? We haven't studied it, but I believe it would. And I would use the nighttime formula. The reason is because the vitamin C is going to help trigger repair. And, of course, the milk peptides are going to help to grow new skin. So, yes, I think it would help with road rash. It'll be soothing, help reduce the irritation, reduce the pain, and help improve the healing. Does macadamia oil raise your HDL? Not that I'm aware of. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why I recommend macadamia oil is because it will help to move cholesterol to the process of producing hormones like testosterone and estrogen. So, in fact, it should end up lowering HDL and lowering LDL. Can you develop a product for the entire body, like a body cream? Yes, we've talked about that. We have other products that we've already made, but a body cream we don't have quite yet. Okay, we're coming down on about 2 minutes here. So we got a ton of questions tonight. Thank you. Yes, this is recorded, and yes, it will be put in the back office. Okay, oh, this is an interesting question. Is there anything in the Nirvana tablets that would be a problem with the NCAA or NFL? No, absolutely not. So in Nirvana, we have a seaweed extract. We have a sea salt extract, which is an oil. And so I don't see, and there's also a vanilla bean extract, so I don't see any of those ingredients as being an issue. None of those would be on a list of banned substances, and they're not related at all to performance enhancement, so I don't see that as being an issue. Let's see. Oh, here's an interesting comment or question. I'm wondering if it is normal that my daughter, my sister, and I all tried the Nirvana for the whole month and none of us felt any changes. Yeah, with some people, the changes could be very, very subtle. Other people might require a higher dose. So if you felt as if you were not getting an effect, you could, of course, return the product for a refund. Or if you wanted to try a higher dose or moving the location of the patch, that's another possibility as well. Oh, and thank you, Dr. Lobstein. I'm going to copy this, and I am going to put this into... bear with me. He's making a comment here about a tea that will get rid of candida. So bear with me while I copy this. And let's see, it's not, oh, here we go. And let me put this in the chat window. Okay, there you go. So this is a recommendation on Chinese herbal teas that will help get rid of candida. Thank you, Dr. Lobstein. Always appreciated. All right, well, thank you, everyone. I'm off to the gym to do some exercise. I love WinFit, and so I'm keeping that up. So in any case, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, this webinar is recorded, and so this will get posted to the back office. And I hope that you enjoy any time that you're taking off, and I'll look forward to talking to you on our next training webinar. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.